Everybody trying hard to get to heaven, but they don't know where it is. The preachers are preaching, trying to show you the way, but they don't know where it is. Everywhere you look, there's a church doing God's work, but things don't seem to change. All the money you're giving, you should have a better living, but things still remain the same.
Reverend Floyd Rose, Director Council. So I was informed that you had been here and you know more about, they know more about, you know more about what's going on. Explain to us what's the problem going on over here.
This is the Ghetto Free Press in Homerville, Georgia. Called on the issues. This is the people's business. Thank God for the open records law in the state of Georgia, along with the Georgia Sunshine.
Please stop the prayer. Dear Lord, we thank you for the day and watching over us. Lord, we thank you for all you do for us. Lord, we thank you for all the people here, concerned citizens. Lord, we pray that you just help us to make the right decisions to the best of our ability and for the best of the city of Homerville. We pray that you continue to watch over us and keep us all safe. These things we ask in your name. Amen. First order of business, we need approval of the agenda. Second. All in favor? Y'all looked over the last October, November, and January minutes. We need approval of the last meeting minutes.
I make a motion that we approve January 2nd, 2014. Our last meeting minutes. That includes October and February 12th.
Your second. You second. All in favor? There is no old business. You don't have anything to bring up. Alright, so we'll move on to the new business. First order of business is the Downtown Development Authority. A couple months ago, we kind of reappointed that authority. We appointed me to be on the board. I think I'd like to come off of it. Y'all can, appoint a city council member on it. Whatever y'all think. I've talked with several of you. Some of you don't want to be on it, but maybe Mr. J can, if that's our job, we can get a motion to, if he will. And a second. All in favor? Opposed? Next thing is the Main Street program. The applications are in. My recommendation is that we let the Downtown Development Authority do the interviews for the Main Street program. We already kind of have that set at the presidents for our rec park board. That's how they do the recreation park record whenever we have a board. They do the interviews, we make recommendations to us. That's what I think may be the best thing for the Main Street program is going to put that program more under the downtown development part of it. Some people working with the downtown is what it's supposed to be set up. So I need to ask for a motion to put the Main Street program under the Downtown Development Authority and let them do the interviews for that position.
You said they'll be making recommendations to us.
Yes, it's the same way the rec park board works, same way this board works. Anytime there's a city department, they they basically just help with the day-to-day activities of it, somebody to report to, liaison between us and that department. We had to y'all had to final say-so on it because it is a department under the city. The Main Street program would be saying we have to approve the budget, and we approve all of that. It's just the smaller things with that department. And that's also a requirement for the Main Street program is to have a board that it answers to. And so it will still, everything still go through us. It's just they can take care of more of the legwork. And kind of like the zoning board, the direct park authority, they make their recommendations to us.
At the present time, how many applicants will be that with the position?
I think so. And so I hear a motion to put the Main Street program under the Downtown Development Authority and let them get in and use this position.
I'll make a motion that the Main Street program be placed under the direction of the Town Developmental Authority.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. You'll find in your packet, Martin Luther King Jr. parade application is for the route. We had to go ahead and time limit with getting approved by the state. And so we went on ahead and sent it in, but it's got to have our approval as well. You can look, it's going to start at on East Dame Avenue. You come down East Dame Avenue and come all the way down to the State and Cross Education Complex. It's going to start at 2 p.m. on Monday.
You got the state satisfied.
Yes, sir.
Council, we approve the January.
I hear a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. The next one on the agenda is Comcast, price changes. That's really nothing for us to vote on. They just sent a letter to us and showed us what the rate changes are going to be. And they sent that to all their customers. But best I can tell you, there's nothing for us to vote on or to do.
No, that's all. They sent a copy of the letter with a cover letter saying this is what they were sending out.
Okay.
And there were just certain portions of it that had an increase and it showed no change on the other.
Okay.
So all the people that the customer would receive that.
Sometimes when it passed, whether we wanted to or not, we kind of disagreed with it, but they went up anyway, we could do the thing about it, so they got to say so we tried.
All right. Hangar at the airport, you'll find had discussed before last year, Mr. Jay's just kind of wanting us to go back over it, is basically approved for him to continue talks with Flash Foods over in Waycross.
Great.
And about our fire department property, and he won't make any deals, all he'll do will be the one, the liaison between him and us. He'll try to put a deal together about it, and then he will bring it to us, to approve or to look over it. But he'll be the one talking to him and also approve if it works out, and he needs to talk to the school board or the county commissioners about anything, he'll be the one that goes and talks to them. He'll keep us informed of our meetings, or if there's anything big comes up, he'll notify us, but he'll be the contact person for that. Like I said, he won't make any deals on it, approve anything out of all that has to come to us, but he'll be the one that puts it together and brings it to us. We already approved that last year, we just need to I'd like for the new board to reapprove that if y'all don't mind. Yeah, it is. Now, if you've got any questions concerning the minutes?
Basically what we're, in reference to is we're talking about, if everything works out, relocating the fire department. And Sharon Collins asked me to represent her. She owns the property next to her. We're talking about fast foods and McDonald's sitting there in the heart of our city. You can look at the hub of our city, the downtown Main Street. We don't have anything generating tax revenue. On a good average daily, there's 5,000 to 8,000 cars that pass through Homerville. If 500 of those would stop and purchase gas and food items like at McDonald's, we're looking at the tax revenue that we would be receiving on this, splash revenue that we would be receiving on this. And it would be a no-win situation for the Board of Education. I mean, if we can do this, and then out of this, we could get a new fire station. That property is too valuable for a fire station to sit there, and it doesn't generate any tax revenue. We can relocate it and utilize that property to generate tax revenue. We need tax revenue. We lost Dollar General, we lost Design Space, we lost the prison. So you see where we're at right now. We're doing good, but we got to do better. If we can do this, if this will work out, we'll get the fire station, we'll see Flash Food, we'll see McDonald's, and 55 jobs. And we need the jobs for our local citizens. So that's the whole gist of the whole situation. And I pray to God that it works.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Why should we got this, it's got plan money?
Yes, sir.
But I don't see it's putting a whole lot of city taxpayers' money into them relocating. I had no problem with that, because, and that's right behind where the EMA office is, correct? That's where we plan to. But move the fire station.
Well, we plan on, right over here, if this works out with the Board of Education, they got a trailer park right on the other side of the Board of Education. You come by every day.
I'm looking at that spot on the other side of where the senior citizen thing before they are there. But that's a low spot.
Yeah, well, see, that's county too. That's not the Board of Education. Then we have to deal with the county.
Okay,
But the Board of Education owns this property that I'm in reference to. You can see there's a semi-trailer park. To the west of the Board of Education. That is the property that we're hoping that we can convince the Board of Education. Now, we're not talking about putting in, the city's not going to put in one dime of any tax money or any kind of revenue at all. It's all going to be generated by the sale of the property. We get a new fire station, Flash Food comes in here. They are demonstrate how they will benefit from the new locations of 2 new businesses here in this city, which we're in vital need of right now. 55 jobs. You know, sorry, it's not the answer, but it's better than what we got right now.
James, is that a motion? Just a letter, J. You need more.
I second the motion there. The city, he said he's going to, and all, he can bring all this stuff back to us, and we'll see how far we need to go with it.
I second Will's motion. All in favor? The second, okay, all right, Mr. Willie's word for future, okay, so James made the motion, Willie seconded it, okay, he was just re-saying it. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Willie made the second, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, Ms. Elaine Rice, Castle, is she here, Castle? Mr. Castle Hart, Kent County Development Authority, you're welcome.
Thank you for letting me come. I came for 2 reasons. The first thing is I wanted to just give you an update on the Development Authority. This is the first time we've had a full-time executive director. And I started November the 1st. The first thing that we're working on is working with our existing industries to make sure we're supporting them properly, make sure they have everything they need, if they're making the expansions, helping them, making sure they're taking advantage of the tax credits. The second thing is, of course, marketing our community through the businesses, and we have 2 main sites that we're marketing. One is the Lex Industrial Park, which is where Bell's Ferry that used to be, right close to Dole. And it's very marketable because it has access to utilities, including gas. Also, our East Industrial Park, which is out near Ohio Mulch on the way across on the right, and it is very marketable because it has access to rail. And so we have some things going on with those sites, and the third thing is making sure that our community is attractive to business and industry. We're going to be working on identifying some opportunities to make it more attractive, and that's where we will need the city partnership on. And as we come up with things, we'll come back and discuss it with you. The second thing is one of those things that we're actually working on now is Chambers Boulevard, which is the road at the West Industrial Park that is the access road to the container. If you haven't been out there, it hasn't been resurfaced ever, I don't believe, and so it has a lot of heavy truck traffic on it, which is causing it to erode in some on the sides, and it's also not wide enough to accommodate the truck traffic. So what the Development Authority is asking permission from the city to do is to come up with a plan to improve that area, and we're working with the businesses out there to make sure that it's what they need. But the road belongs to the city, and the Development Authority is going to cover all the costs of the design and everything for the road. And then we will also identify some funding sources so that the city doesn't have to pay for those improvements. And I'm asking for permission to move forward with creating the design of the city road with the Development Authority paying for that, and also a commitment from the city that once the funding sources identified, that the project will have to come up with the city because it is a city-owned street. Anybody have any questions?
So we need to make a motion to approve those?
If you can.
Okay. So we need city, it just runs through the city.
And we'll come back, once we've identified that, we'll come back and talk about how to improve, through you guys again. But we want to make sure that you're on board with this before we go out and, cover the cost for design and ready to come up with the design and identify the source. We want to make sure that you're partnering with us on that.
Okay, I make a recommendation that we work very closely with the development authority on the design of the road, as well as funding of it, any other support that we can give them. So I look forward to seeing that happen, because it's certainly a situation that needs to be addressed out there, and I'm glad that that came up today, that it certainly needs to be addressed.
Motion and second, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Commissioner Alfred, you are here. All right, Mr. Floyd Rose. Mr. Floyd? Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, forgive me, I didn't really know my name.
Yes, sir.
My name is Floyd Rose, and I am the president of the Valdosta County chapter of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which is the civil and human rights organization that was founded by Dr. Martin Luther King and presided over until his death in 1968. It is a civil and human rights organization which has no regard to the race or religion, creed, color, or sexual orientation. And we always seek to fix the problem without fixing the blame. Having said that, let me be clear. I am not familiar with everything that has happened in Homerville. However, what I did read in the paper and other places disturbed me as it did to me. Back in Toledo, you might remember that we had a man named John Fred, and he did something that we call double dip. In fact, he went to Atlanta and he charged both the city and the state for his travel and lodging expenses. It is my understanding that the mayor here charged this council of the city some $1,200 to attend the meeting that did not exist. If, in fact, that did happen, and the money was paid back, that did not eliminate the crime itself. There are certain things that are morally right, ethically right, even if they are legally even if they're legally right. However, it is my understanding, and I spoke with our attorneys before I came here the other day, that once you charge the city for an expense that never occurred, even though you may give the money back, that does not eliminate the crime. And every crime has consequences. And if I take your car and give your car back and say, I'm sorry, I took your car, the truth of the matter is I took the car. And if I pay for the car, it does not eliminate the fact that I took the car. Every sin, every mistake has consequences. So I would hope that you don't end up doing the same thing that we did in Valdosta. John Freddie ended up forced to resign, and he could have saved the whole that problem if he had just chosen to do so. So I'm here to ask you, as city council, to do what you feel that you know is right to do in this case, without having me and my organization and others that go to the trouble
think some of your information is incorrect. There was a time period across the whole year, about a year and a half, with lots of different functions for the programs that I attended. I attended with everybody who knew about it. The city manager at the time, he doesn't live here, but he's made a statement and he will to he spoke to our attorneys, the newspaper and certain people. The deal was that when I went to these places that the motor would be paid for. That's what it was. And the reason that it was, and he says that the mayor knew, the council knew, and everybody knew, and everything was, above board. The reason that the money was reimbursed was not because anybody was caught doing anything wrong, or because there was something wrong done, but the money was reimbursed because I felt like that I was being accused of doing something wrong, but they knew I had done, that everything was right. I was representing the city whenever I went off and let the city pay for a motel. And they felt like that I wasn't 3 years later, and that there was a problem. They were questioning me. I said, look, I'd be more than happy to reimburse it, even though everybody knew about it 3 years ago. This was brought up during the campaign. Politics, a lot of people like to play. The city attorney has spoken with us, with me. There was no wrongdoings. There was nothing done wrong. No funds misused. We've all talked about it. It's been in our paper every month for just about for the past 6 months during the election. So we appreciate your time and your concern.
I appreciate that. Let me come back to one question. So the information that I have, that you, in fact, did attend the event that you say you attended, that the $1,200 was legitimately used and the council was aware of that?
It was actually a bit more than that, and it was over a course of a year and a half. It wasn't for one meeting. And it was something that I had a lot more money than that invested in as well. And that the city manager at the time felt like that if I was going to be doing this and have the investment I did, that when I had extra nights in the motel room that I had to stay in, traveling all over the state, that the city could help with the motel room. That's what they did. And so, like I said, it wasn't for one meeting, it was over the course of it. And it's back in 2011. So, like I said, we're talking about 3 years ago. It was approved in the financial statements every month, and the bills were paid, checks were written, the paper was sent, and there was an issue until recently. So, like I said, we appreciate your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact our attorneys, Jeff Helms, and I'm Jeff Helms. Jeff Helms is right there. He works.
Thank you very much. One final thing. I don't know whether you've already received the round church that was supposed to have sent through the Open Records Act. A letter to the Open Records Act, but you get that already.
Yes, and y'all should, we met. Yeah, that's right. And we met with back out to y'all, and it should be there. If it wasn't there today, it should have been there. It'll be there tomorrow. But it's all right.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll find in your agenda the financial report. We need a motion to approve the financial report. If y'all have time to go.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we approve the financial report from our last meeting.
Okay, second.
Second.
All in favor? All right, now, Mr. Williams, if you have anything to report, please start forward.
We're approved by the call that was in the last meeting. I do call us for thank you for the supervision, because thank you for the outstanding job. You trying to stay on top of everything.
Yes, very important.
he took over for me with the rec park. And James is going to be in, he's in recreation, and James is looking after the Mason Branch Park and the Community Park, the actual, the actual park for the city.
James, are these tables going to be outdoor tables and chairs, or are they going to be stores? Who is generally responsible when they are placed? Who oversees that? I was still a man when you pick it.
Jeff, it was on the agenda to go into executive session, is that okay?
It is. If the council votes to go into executive session for a reason allowed by law, discuss personnel, so I have to vote to go into executive session.
All right, that's it. We need a motion to go into executive session. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you all for your time.
This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhymes. I'm in Homerville, Georgia, and of course you've seen my almost a half million videos on YouTube. I am here in Homerville City Council because I want to know what's going on. I was called over here on an issue that deals with open government and sunshine. And I see a mother, what's your name?
Georgia Johnson.
Georgia Johnson, what took place today? It seemed like it got kind of tense. The president of the Southern Christian Leadership Council, Reverend Floyd Rhodes, addressed the council. So I was informed that you had been here and you know more about, they know more about, what's going on. Explain to us what's the problem going on over here.
Well, to me, the problem that's going on is there have been funds misused, and seems to me it's just getting pushed under the rug. That's just my opinion. The community doesn't know a whole lot about what's going on, and a lot of them don't seem to be interested in what's going on. However, I believe that the community has got to work together and get things sorted out in order for this community to grow.
Why do you think the people don't know? Have it received media attention, or why do you think people are don't know what's going on?
A lot of them are not interested in coming to meetings. A lot of them are just taking hearsay and not trying to find out what's going on. And fortunately, I'm one of the ones that want to know what's going on, how it's going on, and where it's going on at.
Well, I read, it was discussed that they talked about this executive meeting and that people left, I guess they left, they didn't know, or what do you know anything about that?
After that executive meeting on the 2nd, I think my sister and I and my cousin was the last ones to leave. And if there was a meeting after that, I don't know who would have attended it.
Well, we in the midst now of an executive session. Will people stick around to go back in, or will they call us back in to see what happened, or will we be blindsided? Will you all be blindsided again over in the city of Homerville?
Probably blindsided.
Well, another question or something I want to ask, I wish Brother Rhodes was here, because I want to commend the city council here, because there was dialogue between, who was the guy that talked to and answered Reverend Rhodes' question? Who was he? Was the mayor?
That was the mayor of the city. That was the one that the $1,200 were repaid when he was a councilman.
Okay, so we find out that when Rose asked his questions, the mayor, there was an exchange of information. In Valdosta, you cannot even address the people by name. They can't respond to you, and they don't respond to you. And they've been doing it for years, and we're trying to get it changed. So I want to commend the elected officials here in Homerville who have surpassed Valdosta, a metro city, in at least the citizens and civil rights organizations of the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference could at least have some type of dialogue with the people that were elected to serve the will of the people. That does not happen in Valdosta. And they have a code saying they can't call them by name. They'll get back with them. In most cases, most people, both black and white, say that always means never.
You have to remember, this is Homerville.
Now, one other thing. Homerville, I remember it was mentioned that they had a prison. They said they lost that.
Right.
And they're trying to get more industry in here, right?
Right.
I also understand that am I correct that this is the first time that the city council have been a majority black council?
Yes.
So do you think that that may be a problem? I know in Brooks County that was a problem with the Brooks County Board of Education. Once the blacks became a dominant force, they filed charges on 10. They now call this equipment 10 plus 2. And so do you think that will continually be a problem, or do you think we can move into the 21st century in Homerville?
Hopefully we can move into the 21st century. However, that will probably be a problem.
In my closing question to you, why is it out of the 20 plus people, 30 people, almost 30 people here, that you're the only one talking? Does anybody else know what's going on, or you just the kind of the mouthpiece here to open the door so everybody will be informed, because it concerns all of us?
I'm just the type of person that got sense enough to keep my mouth closed.
Don't like you keeping it closed today. But anyway, we want to thank you for exercising your right to speak, because what it is that if you don't speak up, and if your neighbor don't speak up, then we're going to be back into the 40s, 50s, and 60s before we know it.
Correct.
Because we will not stand up for what this country aspires to be and do around the world.
Correct.
That is open government, the Sunshine Law in the state of Georgia, Freedom of Information Act. That means everything should be open, transparent, for all the citizens to know what's going on and not just a select few. Thank you very much. I want to commend the president of the SCLC, Reverend Floyd E. Rose, for coming out here today. I was called, and of course the Ghetto Free Press have to come when I'm called. I've been to Jacksonville, Atlanta, all around. Wherever I'm called, that's what I do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
This is the Ghetto Free Press, doing what we do because it must be done. Bye-bye. We go. Under our form of government, we the people maintains the power through our vote. And that is a beautiful day in God's world. Yes, it has just been brought to my attention that one of the major reasons that there's concern about the way the meetings are conducted here is that, number one, the acoustics are extremely bad. There are no microphones. The council is so far away from the citizens, I've just been told by these citizens, and that therefore when they talk about the seconds, when they talk about who's bringing up the issues, then they can't keep a record of who offered the motion, who seconded the motion, etc., etc. And I also talked to one citizen who said that she made a list and that she's going to pass on to the mayor and council that there is some major problems that needs to be addressed along those same lines. So my name is George Boston Ryans. I served 21 years in the United States Armed Forces. And as you know, in I'm well known in Quitman, by the way, but in Valdosta, I am under a 230-day criminal trespass warning by Lowndes County Sheriff Department, because I do there what I'm doing here. I report what others ignore. And so I'm going to continue to say that my justification and my criminal trespass warning that is without justification and notification is due in part because of what I'm doing now. But as a veteran, if I could serve my nation during the Vietnam War, put my life on the line to die for this nation, then to return home to be stopped, banned from all Lowndes County football games, can't go to a public meeting of the Lowndes County Board of Education, is a disgrace to our form of government, although the Justice Department, no legal entity in Valdosta and Lowndes County or in the state of Georgia will even talk about the violation that someone have committed if I have a constitutional right, once again, and I do have one. Peace.
Woo!